Hello, what I'd like to show here is a non-stackable item sorter. It will sort out a whole bunch of different types of non-stackable items into their own chests. It'll sort out boats, mine carts, armor of various types, records, shears, water, lava, shulker boxes. Oops, those are left over from when it was still being built. Flint and steel, and potions. And then all other non-stackable items end up in this chest here. So the way this works is it's got a bunch of different filters for various things. Starts out with a filter that filters out the stackable items from the non-stackable items. Then there's a filter that tries to put them in a brewing stand to see if they are potions. Then it tries to put them in a shulker box to see if they are shulker boxes. Then it splits out the water, lava, and flint and steel, which all activate an observer when they are shot out of a dispenser, and those all go over here. And then this filters out the flint and steel from the water and lava by checking to see if it can flow down. And then this filters out the lava from the water by seeing how long it takes to flow down. Then back over here, for the things that aren't water, lava, and flint and steel, we see if they can go into a jukebox to see if they are music discs. Now, if they can go into a jukebox, that means that they are not going to go out of the jukebox until they have played their whole song. So this has a bunch of jukeboxes to be able to filter more than one music disc at once. And it is basically just a hopper piston tape that goes around them, and it goes all the way around, and if it hasn't gone into any of the jukeboxes, then it goes into this hopper back here. Next, it goes into a shear filter that basically tests whether the item can be spat out by a dispenser, because at this point the only thing left that can't is shears. So the shears go off and then everything else goes down here. Then there's a minecart filter that tests to see whether it will get put onto a rail, and if it does, it's broken by the cactus, and if it doesn't, then it continues on down to the armor and tools and fishing rods and lighter filter, which basically tests whether you can equip the item on an armor stand. And that is pretty much every tool and weapon except for bows. For some reason, you cannot equip a bow on an armor stand with a dispenser. So that basically picks up an armor stand with a minecart, drops it down there, equips an item on it, and then breaks the armor stand with an arrow over here, and then it grabs another armor stand, and anything that is equipped by the armor stand gets dropped over here with the armor stand. Anything that isn't gets dropped over here. And then there is a item filter back here to filter out the armor stands again, and so they all end up in this box. Now, that does mean that the armor stands will run out eventually. I have it set up with 59 armor stands, which is a double chest plus a hopper worth of non-stackable items. Any armor stands that get broken will end up in the chest, so you can refill them afterwards. But once that chest of tools and stuff is full, then you know that it's time to replace the armor stands. Then finally, there is a filter that checks to see if it's a boat by testing whether it can place it on water. And it tries to place it on the water, but actually places it up a block here. And so these pistons push it over into the cactus where it gets broken. If it isn't a boat, then it falls down into there. And all of these are connected up to their respective chests with chains of hoppers. So yeah, it's not necessarily the most lag-friendly design. Ideally, these hopper chains should be replaced by by just droppers that drop the item down, at least for the really long ones. But it works as a proof of concept. So to demonstrate this, I will go up here, and I've got a bunch of items in this input chest, and I'm going to connect that up to the rest of the system, and we should see it going through. So yeah, we can see them going through here, and now it is testing to see whether or not they are music disks. And then they're being checked to see if they're shears. And now it's checking to see whether they can be equipped on armor stands. And now it's checking to see whether they are boats. Anything that can't be equipped on an armor stand, that is. Yeah, there it goes. And then over here, we might have noticed it. Nope. So there, it just checked flint and steel. And that was another flint and steel. And so that noise that just happened was a trident. And so that is the one limitation here, is that tridents cannot be distinguished, and once they are fired out of a dispenser, they can't be broken. So tridents will collect here. And you can pick them up over here. I will make a walkway over there. They don't break anything, but they won't end up in the item sorters. So just because we missed it while it was going, I will throw a few lava and water buckets in here so we can see how that works. So when the water flows down, it activates that and moves in the hopper from the right. If it isn't water, then after a certain amount of time it moves in the hopper from the left, and that'll pick up the flint and steel. Lava takes longer to flow, but it still activates that. And then they come down here, and this will test them and see how long it takes for them to flow. So the lava doesn't have time to flow down before it's picked up again, and so it goes down here. And so everything is going down into the chests. So non-filterable things are bows, because they don't go on the armor stand, totems, beds, stews, saddles, horse armor, and milk. And then, of course, the tridents get stuck up there. That's about it. Hope you enjoyed.